Hey guys, so we're going to continue on with our compositing by doing a quick book cover for To Kill a Mockingbird. This is going to lead into a summative assignment. We'll do two book covers just to kind of get some ideas as to how we create the sort of composite with several different things here. We've got a couple different things. We've got this little background from this sort of Alabama forest, the Justice Lady here. We've got this mockingbird kind of chilling out here. We've got a shift robe that I went ahead and cut out. There was a interesting little find, and we got this little gavel here just to indicate justice and stuff. So what we'll do is we'll just start off with the Alabama forest here. Let's actually start off by making a book cover kind of template here. Ours is going to be 6 inches tall, 6 inches wide by 9 inches tall. I'll just create, and then I'll just drag in my background here. So let's drag in this guy. And this guy is really tall, so I'll just, he's going to be big enough to kind of resize to fit the entire thing without losing any resolution here. So I'll just position the shack on one side, this little road sign on the other side here. So let me kind of go ahead and kind of take a look and see some of the details here. We got this little doohickey kind of hanging out. I'm not sure what that is. This little like branch here. I'm going to have my shift robe kind of be hanging out on this side. So I just want to take a look at the lay of the land. So what we want to do is just drag in. We'll start off simple with the shift robe here. Drag this guy in. I'll shrink him down a good deal. You can see it sort of like fits in right about here. We'll say I'll put it like right about there. And we want to leave some space at the top because, and let's leave some space at the bottom as well, so we can have some. Okay, so let's start off real quick by adding a layer mask, and let's sort of paint away some of the elements of this with using our brush tool. So grab your brush, just grab a normal like round, general soft round brush here, and we're gonna get in kind of close, and we'll see if we can't erase some of the with this layer mask here. Make sure your brush is on black. And I'm just going to erase some of the stuff here just to kind of give it like the feel of like that it's sort of tucked in behind like the grass is kind of coming up on it a little bit here. I know it looks a little bit, a little bit sort of bad resolution here, but I think once you get back from a distance, it's not going to matter that much. So just kind of scuff in a little bit here or there, just kind of give it this look that's sort of laying here behind the grass. I'll make this a little bit taller, just to, yeah, it's probably good right there. And same thing here, just chilling out. And kind of pull this leaf out, and then same deal up here. I'm actually pull the opacity down slightly, just so I can kind of see. For instance, I'll have all these leaves sort of chilling out here. I'll just click on my layer mask and I'll just sort of draw it. And the amount of time you spend on this is obviously if you wanted to get really granular about it and really like just obsessive about it, you could make it look really like it really is sort of pushed in there. But in this case, oh, just right now, right? Yeah. Let's make a little adjustments layer with our curves and make this a clipping mask, and hold down Alt and press Auto. And let's make sure, oops, let's press cancel real quick. Okay, right, yeah, cancel. Sorry, I had to make sure we had to click the actual curves, not the mask itself. The mask itself is not quite right. Okay, so once again, hold on Alt, press Auto. And then make sure we have fine light and dark colors for the shadows. Let's find just, this sort of color here for the highlight, for the midtones. Let's find something somewhere around this area here. And then for the highlights, we can find something like around, I don't know, like this area here. And kind of like just sort of have it fit in a little bit more. And I might actually add a bit of a blur. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, neat. Okay, there's a thing out there. All right, and then we'll just add in... actually, let's do this. I think it's a bit too bright, so I'll add in my HSL here, and I'll just pull the lightness down some. Once again, clipping mask, and the saturation down some too. A little desaturated here. All right, neat. And cool. All right, cool. So we'll also add the mockingbird. We'll just have the mockingbird sort of chilling out here. So we might like let's do a couple things here. Let's put on we'll bring in the sort of bring the mockingbird here, and we'll go ahead and cut out the mockingbird right here. So I'll just zip through this. So the layer mask, I can go in and I can add to it. So with my brush tool, I can just come in here and just erase parts of the background. So like I said, I'm using the layer mask instead of just the various tools because I think this is just a bit easier just to kind of correct some mistakes that you've made. Once again, destructive versus non-destructive change is big deal there. All right, so I'll just shrink this down a little bit here. Maybe have him perch on top of this guy. Once again, actually, what I'll do is I'll just sort of copy these guys here. Or I'll just drag him down below the two clipping masks just to... No, never mind. I'll just add these two here, see if I can copy these. Can I copy these? Oh, drag them up. Hey, look at that. And then just make sure these guys are clipping masks as well. This should be a bit brighter. Just have them stand out a bit. And okay, and then we'll add in the gavel. Well, let's put the gavel and the statue in. We'll just drag these guys out here. Once again, I'll do a quick. Okay, so once again, we'll just take this guy. We'll shrink her down, and we might even kind of do something symbolic, which is sort of like leaning forgotten against this shift robe here. Let's actually just over here. We'll flip her, flip horizontal. And we'll make it look like she's kind of half buried. I'll sort of like sink her down into the mud, but with a little bit of this with using the brush tool here. Again, this is just sort of like kind of joining them all together in maybe a more, I would say, kind of meaningful way than just sort of, almost sort of. Kind of hanging out there. All right, that's something. I think maybe that might be just a bit tiny, but it's okay. We'll just once again shift select these guys, I'll drag them up, and then hit the little click. Oops, hit the little masking. Right there. Okay, cool. They're all kind of hanging on. Cool, neat. Okay, so we have these guys chilling out here. We could do a number of things to sort of like bring attention to them, but I think this is fine. And let's just add some typography here. So we've got to kill. I'm going to hit 2, and I'm going to change this to something a little more like I don't know, like maybe like a serif font. Let's look here. Definitely not like something like this. This doesn't really fit the mood. Georgia might work. Cooper Black might work. I don't think that's actually. Let me search here if I got anything. If you look online, you find one you like, you can obviously download it. But I'm gonna find something here. It looks like So instead of making them all one thing, what I'll do is I'll make them so 2. Drag this in here. This is pretty simple here. So I'm gonna give myself some room on the sides because we want some space here to kill a mockingbird. So 2 kill. I'm gonna put like kill. Make this a bit bigger. To kill. Obviously, at this point, you can kind of do what you want to do when it comes to this, but to kill. Layering up to this. Let's go ahead and grab all these guys here. Select them all. Hold on Shift. Make a new group. And then put a layer mask on that group, and then what we can do is we can go over here to our, make it black. We can even go to our brushes here, and we can add, for instance, a sort of a spatter effect that this. I can I'll get rid of this. I'll go to blending options, and I'll add a gradient overlay to it. And then obviously down at the bottom we want to put the author's name, and we can put the author's name in sort of like bold letters or kind of bright big letters here. So we can just put down at the bottom in like kind of a sans serif font. All right, we'll call that done. Okay, so here we go. We got a little thing here. Depending on what you're looking for, maybe you can add a number of things to it. But here's just basically putting things in, having everything kind of like abide in the same thing, so it looks like it's sort of occupying the space. In this case, it's a little surreal, but I think it's okay. All right, so say this is JPEG, turn it in. Make sure make sure you save it as JPEG. Very cool. All right, see you in class.